good production design in a naturalistic setting should be so appropriate that it's unnoticed. In other words, the audience should walk away from the film going, I can't imagine that film being filmed anywhere else. Now that being said, how do you give an award for an invisible art? Well, I've noticed that there are 3 rules to be able to apply for Academy nominations. The first one is that any designer who has been around for a while and consistently produces good and excellent work is eventually going to get an acknowledgement. The second thing is historical, science fiction, fantasy films, and musicals all highlight the designer's role. The third element is that it really helps to have spectacular work from the other crafts. Great costumes, great creature designs, great visual effects. All of these things make a production designer look really good. Now that being said, let's take a look at a film that was nominated this year that has all 3 of those elements. 9 is designed by an extraordinary designer, John Meyer. It has naturalistic settings, it has very theatrical settings, it has musical numbers, it has psychological imagery, it has the whole gamut of great dramatic images, and all beautifully executed. And this is John, I think's 3rd collaboration with Rob Marshall, maybe 4th. So obviously he and the director really know how to talk and work out the problems which are part of production design, which is you can't just populate a whole world with really great stuff and then say, here's your set, point the camera any way you want to. You have to work on what the shots are going to be. You have to work on really getting the most bang for your buck and putting in front of the camera the stuff you want to see, which means in the beginning you're working out exactly what that series of images are that are going to tell the story. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus has extraordinary design elements in it. If you look at the clip, you'll see that there's a camera shot, drifts down from the skyline of London to a carnival that's in contemporary London, and then moves in on a little vagabond wagon, a gypsy wagon, that has beautiful graphics, extraordinary use of color and texture, and is apart from the contemporary setting. So you're not only using great craft in terms of the graphics and the colors and the design of the wagon, but you're also juxtaposing it against the contemporary environment of contemporary London. All of this stuff is a combination of painting, art direction, locations, and it's seamlessly combined to provide this extraordinary transition from the real into the unreal.
Please exit the Imaginarium immediately.
Holmes, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you wearing a
False nose? No.
Tell me that wasn't...
Sarah Greenwood is the production designer on Sherlock Holmes, and she certainly meets criteria number 3. She's working with a highly visual director, Guy Ritchie. She has a great variety of really wonderful English locations, as well as great sets, very theatrically rendered, great steampunk props, excellent costumes. She's supported by it all, and she also has great visual effects. So this may be the one that gets her statue. I'd say of all the 5, this is the only one that really can seriously go up against Avatar. The Young Victoria is a film that the late American production designer Dick Silver would have called a rent-a-castle movie. And by that he meant that the principal locations were all locations. They weren't constructed sets, and you use the natural beauty and the evocative settings, surroundings of a historical place to give that same ambiance to your film. It's hard to imagine that the production designer and the director on this collaborated on the shots in the same way that perhaps the production designer and the director did on Avatar, where everything had to be created and you couldn't just say, well, let's bring the character in over through that door and then put them right here in front of this window, and then that's what you decorate and prepare for shooting. Probably not as much in a film like this.
Hey, welcome. Welcome to Pandora. Good to have you.
So the last film of the nominations is Avatar. And Avatar, I think, is a real tour de force in just about every technical category, but especially in production design. When you look at this film, look at the very final scene of the film, it illustrates how beautifully designed this film is. First of all, the machines are really menacing. They're really aggressive, and they contrast really well with the natural world of the Na'vi. However, the creatures that confront these machines are believably large enough to actually confront this malevolent-looking machine. The people who master the Taurucs, the Na'vi, are just big enough so that you feel like they could actually have tamed these creatures through great effort and persistence. And while everything is the right size, there's also the element of contrast, which is contrasting the world of the machines and the technological world of the humans with the natural world of the Na'vi and the way they literally connect to nature, all beautifully rendered. At its worst, the process of making a film is a collaborative experience. At its best, it's ensemble. When so many people work so effectively together, you don't quite know if you're giving the award to the right person, and you may never give the award to the right person, but you have to acknowledge the excellence. You have to acknowledge the real great craft, the great vision that you see before you on the screen.